If you're a cosigner on a private student loan and looking for cosigner release, you may not have learned about these two different methods to get released from the loan. So if you've been trying to get cosigner release, you've probably found that it's more myth than reality and that it's really a marketing tactic for the lenders when you first get the loan or when the borrower first gets the loan, because they don't want to take you off the loan. You're the collateral. You're the guarantee they get paid no matter what happens to the borrower. But there are a couple of other ways to get off the loan besides just regular cosigner release, like the normal application, which has usually a lot of fine print, a lot of hoops to jump through, 12 consecutive payments or more. If the borrower or you have been on an interest-only payment plan, some kind of reduced payment plan with the lender, especially we're talking Sallie Mae or Navient, they're going to use that as a reason to disqualify you from cosigner release. But there are a couple of other ways to do it. So the first one is trying to refinance and have your name taken off during the refinance. Now, if your borrower, if the original borrower has a much better credit profile and a better income profile than they had when they first took out the loan, which hopefully they have because they took out the loan when they were, 18 or 22 years old or whatever, then there is a chance they could qualify to refinance it and get you taken off during the refinance. So I would recommend going to a website like credible.com, looking at the different lenders on there to refinance through and starting there. And a lot of them do have that option, but again, your borrower is going to have good income and good credit, much more so than whatever they were at when they first got the loans and they first got you as a cosigner. The other option is not really ideal. It is a paid cosigner release once the loan is in default. For most of these situations, we normally recommend just going through with settlement because both parties are removed from the loan in settlement. It's a zero balance for everybody. When you get removed as a cosigner, and it's a paid cosigner release when the loan is in default, we've seen some issues with credit reporting from the lender where it just looks like the loan kind of stops reporting and it's still negative and there's not anything to show it's been settled or a zero balance. So in most cases, I prefer settlement, and the settlements are usually around the same amount you're going to pay for a cosigner release. The cosigner release might be slightly less. There have been situations where the cosigner's like really estranged from the borrower and there's no communication and they just want to be off the loan. They don't want to do a settlement. So there's been a couple of times where we've done that. But normally, even though cosigner release can be a paid option when you're in default, normally settlement is still a better route. And then the last option, probably the toughest barrier to clear, is a bankruptcy discharge, and I could do a whole nother video on bankruptcy and private student loans, which I might do at some point. But bankruptcy is very difficult to discharge a private student loan in due to the 2005 BAP CPA, which made private student loans generally exempt from discharge. You have to have a major hardship and clear what's called the Brunner standard as far as a hardship level, which basically I like to summarize it as if you're not ever going to be able to pay the loans at any point and the borrower's not either, that may qualify you for a discharge. But you have to go through what's called an adversary proceeding. It's very difficult. It's very time consuming. There are not a lot of attorneys that know how to do it, and the ones that are good at it are going to charge probably $5,000 to $10,000 just to even attempt that. But that's probably the least likely option. I'd say the most realistic option for most people and what we usually recommend is try for refinance, and then if not, then even look at having the borrower refinance with a different cosigner, and then you're still off.